You know, I made some money there, but they did a lot of promotional stuff with me, but then it kind of just got stale for a little bit. And that's when Alva came into the scene, and he's like, Christian, man, I want you to be riding for me. I want to give you a model, and I want you and me to go and do this company. And I want it to be the raddest thing. And
skateboard pioneer Tony Alva is credited with catching the first air ever out of a swimming pool. He was the first active skater with his own company and marketed himself in ways skating had never seen.
We all respect Alva because he is one of the pioneers of why we do what we do. He's a legend. I just wanted to be affiliated with something that was real. You know, and that's what Tony came with. He came with something that was real, backyard, out of the garage. We're gonna start this from scratch. And I went, sounds good to me.
When we first got together, he came and we sat down and we said, what do you want to ride?
Wanted to be creative, and I wanted to have function in my board. And I said, well, I do big aerials to tail where my hand grabs the top. I'll make that flat. And I said, wouldn't it be nice if it cut in and came out? And for tail taps on PVC coping, my tail just slips off. I can't do tail taps, which was one of my favorite tricks. Came up with the swallowtail. Boom. And I go, I got this idea of swallowtail. He goes, killer, I got this idea of a diamond tail. I'm like, all right.
And he had ideas, I had ideas. We basically put it down.
We go down there, I draw mine on a cardboard, fish shape, flat nose, cut in, fish. He drew his, it was a dolphin nose, cut in, diamond tail. And we cut them out, designed them, and we both rode them.
It was an innovative shape because up till then, if you look in the magazines, every board was 10 by 30. Plain, you know, regular looking boards.
And Christian said, Eddie, come on, you gotta quit, pal. Those guys suck, you know what I mean? Skate for the real guys, Alva. I'll be the pro, you'll be the amateur. We'll travel around the world, get chicks, you know, and I was like, all right. So I quit the biggest company in the world, and I show it all worked out. But yeah, at the time I was all, thanks. I go, so let's go to this new factory. We go to this guy's house in Venice. It was a garage. A week later, I call Christian, let's go skate. He's like, yeah, well, by the way, I quit Alva. And all of a sudden, here I was on Alva all by myself.
Basically, we had a little bit of a conflict. It was pretty obvious my board was more functional. When he did an advertisement that went obvious superior design, when he held his finger up and pointed up and there was the fish shape up there and it was my design, I mean, we butted heads. I told him, you know what, I'm quitting. It's over. How can you disrespect me like that, you know? But at the same time, it was a compliment. For TA to do that to me, I look back and I go, that's pretty sick. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start my own company. My dad said, you know, that's a good idea. I said, Hosoi, skateboards. I said, you know what? I think it's gonna work. And I went, let's introduce the Hammerhead with Hosoi skateboards, and it was just, everything clicked at the time.
You know, the fishtail with the Hammerhead. That's sick.
He had a lot of success with that board.
I had one of those.
I had one of the Hammerheads.
I skated the Hammerhead.
I rode the street one.
Did I?
I was riding for Vision, but I was taking all the Hosoi stuff out of the store.
If anyone can run it, Christian can, you know, because he's got the confidence, he's got the flair to bring something like that out. If it was some other pro skater at the time, I don't think I could have ran it.
That one shape, fucking everybody copied that.
You know, weird shapes and weird tails, and it's like, you know, here you have a Bill Danforth board. It's got this big old white-ass tail on it, and you know, weird shape. And
these call them money bumps.
Money bumps.
Some of it was functional. You know, some of them weren't. You know, some of them there was some parts to them that were functional, and other shapes were just people just trying to make something that looked a little bit crazy, thinking it would sell good. You know.
But did it give your board flair and give your board like personality? And every time you stepped on that board, you knew that was your board, and everyone that rode your boards, you could spot everybody's board a mile away. Well, that's a Fingers Murray model, that's a Hammerhead, or that's a fucking Lucero board, that's a Grasso board, that's a Nightmare model or whatever. Did a lot for skateboarding, you know? And I think without Christian, that whole era would not have taken place like it did.